Costly rework is one of the biggest frustrations organizations experience when preparing for an audit. Most of the time, rework happens because companies start implementing security controls before they've clearly defined their environment and requirements. So the first thing organizations should do is properly scope their environment. That means identifying exactly where controlled information lives in the network and which systems store, process, or transmit it. Once that boundary is defined, companies can focus their security efforts on those systems instead of trying to secure everything in the enterprise unnecessarily. The second step is conducting a structured gap assessment against the real, actual requirements. For organizations handling controlled unclassified information, those requirements come from NIST SP 800-171, which forms the technical foundation for Level 2 certification under the CMMC framework. A good gap assessment identifies not just missing controls, but also weaknesses in how controls are implemented or documented. The third step is building the core documentation correctly from the beginning. Two key documents are especially important. The first is the System Security Plan, which explains how each required control is implemented in the organization. The second is the Plan of Action and Milestones, which tracks controls that are still being improved. When those documents are accurate and aligned with the environment, they serve as a roadmap for preparation. Another important step is testing the processes before the audit. Many organizations write incident response procedures, logging policies, or access management policies, but never test them. Running tabletop exercises, reviewing logs regularly, and performing internal reviews allows organizations to identify issues before the assessors do. And finally, organizations should focus on evidence collection early. Auditors want to see that controls are operating consistently over time. That means maintaining records of activities such as access reviews, training completion, patch management, and log monitoring. If companies wait until the audit to gather evidence, they often realize those records don't exist. The organizations that avoid costly rework are the ones that treat readiness as a structured preparation process, not a last-minute compliance effort. When scoping is correct, the gap analyzing is honest, and the documentation accurately reflects the environment, the audit produces and becomes much smoother. The best way to avoid costly audit rework is simple. Scope first, assess honestly, and make sure your documentation reflects what's actually happening in your environment.